1-2 little toe pokes to Baker. Baker's in trouble. Goes over the top again towards Oz. Jones a little flick towards Plattman. He marks almost on centre wing. Full credit to the Saints. They're fighting this right out. He finds Davis. Off he goes to Baker. Baker puts them inside 50. Hall still going with that hook calf, and he takes the mark inside 50.
23 possessions. Sorry, Sandy. 23 possessions. Baker. Just the one thing he lacks from his game is he doesn't take the first option all the time. Jared?
Well, he's a player on the improve, as is this St Kilda side, and no doubt there are things he's going to be working on with this coach.
Wren having a spell.
But it was another opportunity for the Hawks lost. It was a long kick down there by Raiden Tallis. I think it was going through the centre of the ground.
Hall now for his third.
Find a target.
I mean, Brett Voss is by himself. Have a look at it. By himself.
Yeah, for the moment, Tallis now has heard you. And Baz is going to have a shot. So away to the right, but he's not right.
He's poked a few out, right, Sandy?
Yeah.
Tonight?
Yes, he has. He's kicked just the two. One in the first term and one in the third. And as you say, he's poked a few out to the right.
Smith brings the ball back. Good kick. Jones did well to make the contest. Almost came up with it. Thompson, who's also still a little bit sore, you sense, this last term. Vandenberg's handball cut off by Blake. Jones came up with the footy. Did really well. Kick was inventive, to say the best. Voss. St Kilda have got some real numbers on here. Oliver needs to use this well. Turns his man inside out. The runner got in the way. Kick towards full forward. Hall again at the back. No crummers there. Hall has to go after it on one leg. I reckon Hall's coming then. Hall's got it again. Squeezes the handball over the top. The umpire's red hot there. There's been some inconsistencies tonight.
That was a square up.
Exactly right. Square up.
Blake was dragged from the ball and didn't even have it, Sandy.
Correct, the mundo.
Punched over the boundary line by Milne.
Who do you think will be the first commentator to combine the words Oliver and twist?
You just have.
Just asking a question,
It has
Robert.
been used earlier tonight because Oliver twisted in the ruck and gave away a free kick.
Excellent.
In front of a crowd of, would you believe, Jared, 24,113.
Well, he is out at the moment, Big Kev, and I know he gets excited, but he went with 23,500.
That's Big Kev O'Neill, the legendary stats man.
He was actually heading a big billboard the other night. The sportsman night I went to.
Towards the half forward. Baker squeezes the kick away. Milne just tried to use a little bit too much there. That makes any sense. Beat them. Baker at the back. Short pass for Davis.
Got Moyle.
Got to move it quickly. The Saints have just been indecisive around the centre of the ground with their possessions at times. Goes for Kaczynski at the back. Used his body beautifully. Took a good mark. Push. The gut feeling was it wasn't a free kick, but the replay might prove me wrong. Rawlings lays the handball off to Loney. Kick towards half forward was a beautiful kick. And Chick takes the mark and will slow it down.
Looks like Lecker's coming off for the Hawks.
You just sense he's 1 yard too far out to score. So did he. He went to Loney, who loads it up from 50. Left foot kick to the goal square. At the back, Barker. Clap. It's a boundary post. So a throw in.
It's a lovely kick, Loney.
Peter Schwab just takes a look at the time clock to see how long left, I reckon.
Probably wasn't the best spot to kick it. Needed to be at the top of the square, but he's got good length and penetration in his kick.
O'Farrell did well.
At the back.
Rock came up with a footy, tried to burst through, was ripped off the football. And a ball up. It's the Hawks by 21 points.
With under 7 minutes remaining. Saints have had a red-hot go tonight. They can't be questioned on that side of it at all. Just haven't been good enough on the night. Thompson.
Good shepherding here,
to the half-back line, yep. This allows them to keep the ball in play. That was Chris Obst. Goes back inboard. Luke McCabe twisting and turning away from Voss. Green goes back from whence it came. That was to McCabe. He's 65 out. Unloads with a big bomb. Up to full forward. Strong mark taken by Rewald on the last line of defence. Gee, that was a good grab.
He's played 50. And fair enough, because he did attempt the sleeper hold after he took the mark.
An excellent mark from Nick Rewald. This 18-year-old will blossom during the off-season.
There it is, down, and I don't know about 50.
Platt plays on. Beetham running through half-foot. Pezza! Hall is, well, he's going to be kicking from just inside 50, and he's got a chance to close the gap. 85 plays 64, 21 points the margin. He can make it 15.
There's a lot riding on this kick, because if he does kick it, Sandy, they were a chance.
They certainly are. Time is not an enemy as yet. There's 5.5 minutes remaining, but they need this goal. They're hanging on. They are hanging on because he's got it. Hall gets his third. One in the first, one in the third, and that one. And again, we're back to a 15-point ball game.
Well, the Saints have got every chance now to say we've got 5 minutes just to give everything we've got. Plenty of time to get over it. And it'll give the Hawks a bit of a fright, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they may... they kick the next one, she'll be on. Better kick there from Beetham, or still lacks a bit of penetration. Still mongrel tumbles. Got a bit to work on over the summer.
So the Saints, with one last roll of the dice, just sent. Davis belts it forward. Doesn't sit for them.
Good hands.
Dixon was terrific with a handball to Rawlings. Released him on the left towards half forward. Good kick. A good kick. As Jared said, his disposal's fantastic. And Barker, strong running. Good mark. Loads it up. John Barker loads it right up. Minor score. 16 points of difference. Young Stephen Green, dipper. Was he an influence around the club when you were playing with Russell in the old days? 33 possessions tonight, and he's really crept up.
Well, obviously he was born at the Hawthorn Football Club and known him since the day he was. And he just plays like his own man. He's very good with his hands and reads the ball very well.
Gehrig's kick to half-back. Mark taken by Davis. Good kick. Blake dropped what he would normally take. Moyle came up with the football. Kick to half-forward was a good one. Mark to Callaghan, who we haven't seen much of tonight. He's too far out. Goes short to Voss, who should take it. And does on the slide. Good mark. Tough angle. Real tough angle. Might need someone to present themselves. And a good mark at the end from Voss. Probably marked it a little bit further away than he wanted to. And he's got a raw deal with the angle here too, I reckon, Jared, based on the replay. Might be a bit of an experience going right back to the boundary. A tough kick this. One the Saints needed to finish with a win. Moyle's kick on goal. Looks like it's missed to the near side. No, it's a goal. Here come the Saints.
What a kick. What a kick.
To go.
Yeah, it was Voss all right. It doesn't matter whether or not the angle was right or wrong, but he's banged it straight through, and they're a chance now, the Saints. Can they crack it for Grant Thomas's first victory?
Brett Voss back into the lineup this week, and he's given them a sniff again. 10 points the margin. Davis and Rock battling for it in the middle.
Did you think, Gerald, a lot of careers are on the line the next 3 or 4 minutes, aren't they? You know, coaches and players and
Boundary riders.
boundary riders.
Here we go again. O'Farrell and Capuano, won by the latter, pushed down towards half forward.
Free kick to Thompson.
Get clear. Well, he didn't get it, so they push it back towards the centre. There's some urgency now by the Hawks as Dixon dashes through the middle. He looks up towards full forward. He wants Barker or Thompson or someone to take a mark, but Thompson was edged out by Fraser Gehrig.
Another good effort by Gehrig. Thompson's had just one goal. He's missed a couple, but he hasn't had that many touches at all, only 7 kicks.
Platt goes back to Gehrig. Time is rapidly becoming an enemy for the Saints as he goes wide towards centre wing, and Kazitsky enjoys a hand pass to this young man, but he's had a pretty good night. I'm looking forward to seeing him next year. That kick comes unstuck. He's given it straight to Rock. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous. Up towards full forward. The Saints have the numbers. Maybe they can clear. Barker applies the tackle. Turns over to Barlow. Barlow kicks a high ball towards full forward. Hawthorn needs a mark. Gehrig defies the odds, but he pokes it straight down the throat of Dixon. Dixon to full forward. It bounces. It bounces. Touched on the line.
The Baker boy.
This is like a final. Tension. A desperate lunge by Baker, and he gets it. What a great angle.
Now, the other interesting thing here is, as you can see at home, there's 2 minutes 20 left, but at the ground, there's only 22 and a half minutes gone on the clock. So the players might think there's 5 or 6 minutes left in the game when there's not.
Peckett on the outer side. St Kilda desperate for a quick one here, though. They've got Voss going, and he's running with Thompson. He looks towards the 50. He wants Big Bad Bustling to take a mark, and he does!
Go back and kick a goal post. He'll kick this.
You talk about careers. Here goes Buzzer.
Free kick to Milne. Free kick to Milne. The umpire's call fallen for it.
The free kick in the square to Stephen Milne, who's now destined to cover himself in glory. He's booted 2, and Joel says, what is going on?
Let's have a look. Stephen Milne took the biggest dive seen at this ground for a long time.
Klaus DiBiase didn't dive like that, and he's kicked the goal, and they're still alive. Klaus, by the way, was an Italian Olympic gold medalist.
Yes, I realise that. He was one of the first men ever to produce the pike. Let's have a look.
People have been ordering it ever since.
I couldn't see a free kick. I thought the umpire fell for the extensive acting ability of young Stephen Milne, who's now kicked 3.
What about the emotions of that man, Grant Thomas? A minute 41 to get a win as a coach. The emotions of that man, Peter Schwab.
Is he off to Adelaide?
Would be absolutely shattered at the moment, Peter Schwab, that the game is down to the last 2 minutes.
Having said that, Adelaide have got their own problems with Fremantle.
What a finish.
A minute 41 is time for another goal. Capuano, 5 points in it. The Saints will need a clean goal. Platt took a dive as well, poked for the free kick and got it. The umpire is going the way of the Saints. It's Platt who's got the free kick, squares the ball up. There's options on here. Hutchton takes the mark.
He's desperate,
They'll need
Maxie.
to move it. The Saints are desperate for a win. It would be one of the great steals of all time. Voss has got it. They're running the better and they're running the game out, the Saints. Peckett, 1 kick for 1 mark here, which will do the job if they're good enough.
They need Hall. They need Hall to take a big one.
Barry Hall's the target. Here he comes. It's all on the line here for the Saints. Hall in front. Couldn't take the mark. Forward the football. The Saints. Smith ridden into the ground. They want hold of the ball. The umpire won't be that courageous. Surely. Ball up.
He was about 5 seconds ago, but Joel Smith, it was a great tackle. He only had to get another 3 or 4 metres away before the tackle was laid, and he was in some serious trouble.
There's around a minute left. Kazitsky wins it. Blake it was. Handball. Milne. He's going to have a ping. Stephen Milne. Don't tell me Stephen Milne hit the post. Can you believe it? It was a great effort. It would have given St Kilda the victory, you reckon, that kick. And he's hit the post with a minute to go.
We'll have a look at the little fella. He's just banged it round the corner for all intents and purposes. It was going through, and the bludger, the goalpost got in the way.
30 seconds left on the clock, Sandy Roberts.
Oh dear, what a finish. Well, we thought we were in for a pretty cold, old, boring Saturday night as he goes again.
He's got it.
Barry Hall. Stevie Milne has pumped the pass to Hall, and Hall will have probably the last kick of the night, and it's the kick that can win the game for St Kilda.
Hawthorn won a game after the siren. Now they could lose one after the siren.
Steve Alessio, Ben Dixon. Will it be Batty Hall to make the trifecta?
There's the siren. They've won just 1 game in the last 15. Hall to win the game for St Kilda from 38 metres out. He's kicked the goal. He's kicked the goal. The Saints have broken the drought. in next week's final.
And great to see the jubilation in the middle of the ground. Young kids that haven't had a victory. This will be their first victory. Innocent Kilda jumper for many of them, and they've done it in outstanding fashion. What a great kick. What a climax.
Oh, what an extraordinary finish.
Well, Hall's kicked the last 2 goals of the game. He took a contested mark to kick one, and he kicked the other up the end of a pass from Mill, who almost snatched it at 30 seconds prior.
And if there was any doubt that Grant Thomas is going to be coach of the Saints next season, before this match, there is none now, Sandy.
Well, they've played this game. This has been their final. Hawthorn have been beaten St Kilda 15-11 and defeated Hawthorn in a stunning upset.